pans are actually pretty small. They're about the size of my thumb here in the Colourpop. I'll actually look up, you know, how many grams of product each one of these has, and I'll throw it up right here. Something's telling me it's not as much as the Lila palette. And since I was able to finish the Lila palette last year, I don't think, I don't know, I could come back in like a few months and be like, oh, January Monica, she was talking out of her butt, right? But I don't think this is going to be as much of an actual using up the product challenge, but it is going to be more of a me trying to work through something sentimental and then let it go challenge, right? So I don't want to be too mean to January Monica, but indeed, she was talking out of her butt a little bit. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe we're here. This is the end of my 5th year doing Pan That Palette, and this is the closest I have ever gotten, like to the wire, to the line. Last year, I was going back and I rewatched all of my Pan That Palette playlists, and I said last year I was cutting it down to the line because I finished the palette on the 28th of December, you know, like 2 or 3 days before the deadline. This year, while I am happy to say I actually finished the palettes, I literally finished them this afternoon, today. I am filming this the day this is going live. This is December 31st. I finished the palette today. I don't think it's ever gotten more down to the wire than that. Wow. So it's been a hell of a year, but before I start getting a little too sentimental and a little too poetic and rambly, because this is going to be a rambly video, let us, for the final time this year, run the slideshow of all of my progress up until this point. And here we are now. They are done. And I know that's technically cheating a little bit because really the last shades I repressed into these pans. So technically, here's the final shot. We are done. The last shade that we were left with was actually the red, like the deepest red blush shade that I made. And that is the shade that I just finished an hour ago. So I don't think I have ever been more anxious, more just like gung-ho about a project until this year. So let's talk through it. I'll throw a picture up real quick of what we were left with at the last update. Surprisingly, I guessed that the brown shade was going to be the hardest to use up. I actually used that up really quickly once I used it as a bronzer. Repressed, it was a lot looser, so I used it as a bronzer. I used it as like more of a bronzer kind of. I used that, and then I did quite a few like one shadow looks with the brown shade, and then it was gone. Boom, great. The silvery kind of shades, those are also pretty easy to use up once I just found a look that incorporated all three of them. Used all three of them. I think it was about like 6 or 7 days of a look with those shadows, and then they were gone. Fantastic. The blushes. I was using the blushes every day. I did go through the lighter shade because actually I loved how that shade came out. That was such a pretty shade. So that lighter shade got used up really quickly. Then I was left with just the black shade and the deep red blush. So the deep red blush, it was very pretty, but it was dark. I'm wearing it, of course, today to finish it up. But I have to say, for the majority of December, I went with this like very like super blush drapey 80s look to use up those blushes. And you know what? I don't hate it. I really don't. I was able to finish up the black just using it in my brows. I'm actually wearing a different black shadow in my brows because I finished the black shade up a couple of days ago. But it was that red shade. So I had that red shade left. I actually did my makeup twice today because I had to film quite a few videos pre-filming because we are about to go on a trip in about a week. And if I had not used makeup just about every day, if I had not done my pre-filming and done my makeup twice, I would not have finished these palettes. Straight up. I am wearing the shade all the way up here, all the way around, and it is the red shade on my eyeshadow look today. I actually incorporated as a sneaky little hint, the gold kind of lid shade is actually from next year's Pan That palette. But for now, we're talking about this year's Pan That palette, and I cannot believe I am sitting here with these. It's incredible, just... And I was snarky at the beginning because I was going back and I rewatched my intro for this project, and I was so surprised at what I thought was going to be the challenge because these are very sentimental pieces to me. But I found out that like once I got into the project and once I was using these daily, I appreciated them, but I had completely like lost the fear that certain type of sentimentality gave me when it came to these products. And I hope that made some sense. To the point where I think come like halfway through the project, I wasn't even really that sentimental about them anymore. They were just like palettes in my collection that I was appreciating and that I was using up. So I was so surprised that like that at the beginning was my mindset because really the challenge flipped and it turned from a challenge about using up sentimental products to holy shit, I have a lot of product and I need to finish it up. And maybe that's why it like that challenge pushed out the sentimentality and I was like, oh, I gotta do it, let's go. But here we are. I swear, I was like in my head this month. I was scripting like, how am I gonna say, I failed and I gotta finish these in January, but I want to do my next Pen That palette and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. Up until today, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish these. If I had just done my makeup once today, I don't think I would have finished it. But we're here. And we did it. I don't think I am ever going to do this again. I don't know. But I am just really happy that I did this. I think the one major takeaway I can take from this year is that it is kind of silly to put a product, an expirable product, up on a pedestal and not use it. Because eventually it will go bad. And I don't want to be that kind of person that lets fear make decisions for me. And I think that's a lot for someone who has an incredible amount of anxiety. I do. I have a lot of anxiety. So that's not applying just to like this project and makeup in general, but I think that's a good life lesson, right? So that is my major takeaway. I don't want to, I don't want to be the person that never uses the things that they love because they're afraid of not having them anymore, because it's really about using them, and it's about enjoying them, and it's about appreciating them, and then maybe you'll miss them later. But it's better to miss something that you greatly enjoyed and appreciated than it is to never use it. Boom. There we go. That's the lesson. And also how to use up a hell of a lot of eyeshadow. I also realized I love frankening. I need to just like keep doing that. It is so much fun to like break eyeshadows, remix them, make something new. Because I found like beautiful blush shades from these eyeshadows. And I have fun doing it every time. And I need to remember how much fun that is and to keep doing that. So just for, you know, further sentimentality's sake, I do have, sake. Oh my God, I'm thinking about dinner. I do have the palettes. I am going to clean them because these are nasty. Can you say this? They are nasty. I'm going to clean them, and I'm honestly going to like hot glue the shades. Oh, this one's not going to pop in, but I'm going to hot glue for the Naked palette, the pans back into the palette, and I'm going to keep them in this drawer right over here. I have all of my other panned palettes, and these are going to join the collection. And ultimately, I want to put together a shadow box of all of my pans, because now I can be sentimental about a beautiful, once this is cleaned, empty palette and know that I spent a year enjoying and learning from it. So there we have it. The closest to a project I never thought I was actually going to finish. I thought I was going to fail. Straight up. Until this morning, I thought I was going to fail this project. So thank each and every one of you who subscribed, followed this journey, left a comment, left a like. I appreciate you, and I am so happy that a project and something that I enjoy this much can also bring so many of you joy and happiness and inspiration. I've gotten so many comments recently of people finding my channel for the first time and saying, you inspired me to pan this. You inspired me to really appreciate what I have. You inspired me to like stop shopping a whole lot. Not to say you can't shop. I mean, I just did a whole bunch of hauls for my birthday because my birthday was this month. But we can't let those things hold us back from appreciating what it is that we have and how far we've come and what we've done. So that is my end of the year, New Year's ramblings. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing new year, and tune in because literally tomorrow, the intro for my next Pan That palette will be going live. Thank you guys, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.